Hey, whippersnappers, this is Tortimer really great. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Pokemon Platinum Randomlock, Pokeath'locke Season 4. Today we're picking up more or less where we left off last time, having completed the 8th gym, gotten our final badge, and decided it is time for us to head to the Elite Four. But first, we have to pass through the Victory Road. Now, I will tell you, this is the second time I've attempted to record this episode because I originally started down south in Shiny City, standing next to Jasmine, and I was like, yeah, we'll just quick zip up the route and we'll get to the Victory. It took me like 10 minutes to get through that route because I kept getting caught by trainers. There's so many trainers on that route. Holy cow. I'm just trying to get to the Victory Road. But we are continuing on. Now, I've ground up the team a little bit, less than I had planned, or more than I had planned to, because Sari's now level 51. I'd gotten everyone to level 50, and then we were battling all these trainers on this route below, and there we go. So, Sari's level 51. Snooty is taking a short break from the team because we need so many HMs to get through here, and I just didn't want to teach all of these to the Pokemon on my team. So, Snooty, or Thumper is here in place of Snooty for today, and we're going to be passing on up the waterfall here. We are all healed because I was already up here a second ago, and we are going to be heading into the Victory Road. Now, Route 223, which I crossed over without you guys, or at least accidentally without you guys because I was trying to record it, but it was a forfeited route. There was no catches or anything taken care of there, so you guys really didn't miss much. I did have a fun double battle, but anyway, it wasn't worth using up all. Anyway, I'm talking about wasting time in an episode, and I'm standing here talking about it. Let's go this way. Probably we're gonna need to be rock climbing to get to certain places as well. We got a love disc here. I'll go ahead and use the dark. Well, that didn't work, did it? Bring Sari in. Just get out of here, love disc. Nobody wants you. Bronzong switch. Bring Magdala back in for Bronzong. Let's give that Dark Pulse another go. And Shadow Sneak. Beautiful. Beautiful. Looking good already. Alright, we get a Max Repel. That'll be useful. We do have a catch in here, though hopefully it won't be necessary. Is this the way I just came? I feel like it might have been. Let's head down here, see where it leads us. Oop. Go this way. Repel's effect wore off. Actually, no, let's leave the repel off for the moment. Squirtle! Oh, man! Last episode we caught a Grottle. This episode we're going to catch a Squirtle. Oh, that's awesome. Just fun little Easter eggs here, I guess. That's, alright. I can dig it. What is it? It's level 42? We can use this Shadow Snake. Oh, yeah. I'm a little worried that another one of those is going to be bad. Let's bring... I don't know if anybody else has got any garbage. Let's just try and catch Squirtle as is. We got the Dive Ball. Hey, there we go! The tiny turtle Pokemon, it shelters itself in its shell and strikes back with spouts of water every opportunity. Can we name cut Squirtle? Yes. We are going to name this guy, since we already have Techno the Squirtle in our... Oop, that's not what I wanted. Since we already have Techno the Squirtle in our transfer pool, we're going to go ahead and name this guy Leo, after our Blastoise from the Hexath'locke. Getting a lot of Hexath'locke namings in here recently, but let's head on up here. Show me how you better to get here. Let's do this. All right, let's do it indeed. Charizard, hello. Hello. Makes it a bit problematic that I've left my water type behind. Ouch. Let's go ahead. I do have some full restores. Bought a couple of these just to be safe. Let's go ahead and do that. All right, and then Shadow Snake. Okay, we can finish off Charizard at least. Yikes. For Alligator, switch Pokemon. Yes. Bring Sari in. All right. It's Petal Dance. But send in Ninjask. Ninjask. Bring in Roku either way. Yeah, no, that's not the one I was thinking. Shed Ninja was the one I was thinking of. Okay. Youch. All right, so let's quickly pop a Hyper Potion here on Magdala. Yeah, we're probably gonna regret having left Snooty behind. I wanted to... Oh, Chimchar, we got all kinds of cute little dudes in here. We can actually pop another Repel at this point, though. We have caught our encounter here in Victory Road, and it was a Squirtle, which is awesome. Again, the only thing that would be better if we found an Apom at some point. All right, so here we start with our HM needing. But yeah, so this, guys, is the second to last episode, so which is why I'm saying it probably doesn't matter that we're catching all these cool Pokemon, because realistically, crud, realistically, do I need to learn how to use this bike? Hold on. Yeah, that's not gonna be enough. Hold on, we gotta go normal speed. Okay, hold on. Am I doing this wrong? Hold on. Nope, that's the wrong gear. I hate bike puzzles in this game. It's so bad. Oh, it's so bad. I hate it. Repels effect wore off. Oh, that's not gonna be helpful either. If I waste all my repels just trying to do this stupid bike puzzle. Guys, I need an adult. Like, it should be like, do this bike puzzle, or, you know, what I'm gonna assume we don't need to go up there is what we're gonna do. Frankly, that's just not something I want to waste the entire episode doing. All right, let's do that. We're gonna get off this bike for one. Yeah, there we go. So, back to what I was saying. This is the second to last episode of the Random Lock, which is both exciting and... Oh, hey, there's Mesprit! We found it! It's wandering around the region, got caught in the meantime. Oh, hello, Breloom? I'm not actually afraid of you. Why did you switch in about? I guess it's resisted. Anyway, let's go ahead and switch. Actually, well, yeah, we'll bring in Cessna. That'll be fine. We'll use Silver Wind. Fantastic. Got to send in Tortimer. Will you switch your Pokemon? Yeah, let's bring Penelope in. I have a feeling that one of these will do the job. Yes, it will. Fantastic. We're sending Mesprit. Yep, we'll bring Magdala back in for that. But as with usual in the second to last episode of these series, we have to start talking about things concerning next season. And if you guys have been living under rocks, next season... let me see here. We gotta do that. And then do one of these. Next season is going to be a Pokemon Black 2 Rotten Egglock. So we're going to be continuing on the theme of playing the kind of, the stepbrother. They're not sister games, because somebody said, oh, the term is sister games. We were talking about this before, but that's not actually the term. The term sister games refers to, like, Pearl and Diamond are what they would, the term sister games would, switch. Didn't consider that either. We left both our Psychic type and our Water type behind. Mistakes were made. Let's do that. That'll make things a little bit easier, probably. Oh yeah, that looks good. Good work, Sari. But you know, kind of the stepbrother games of like Yellow and Crystal and I guess yeah, there's no way I'm getting through there without doing this. So, Yellow and Crystal and Emerald and Platinum, and then we're going to be playing Black 2. And as I said, what we're going to be doing in Black 2 is be doing a Rotten Egglock. Now, I'm sure this is probably not a wholly unique concept, but I didn't find the term or anything similar to it anywhere that I could find. Yeah, we're going to switch in the face of Metagross. Magdala's a little beat up. Let's bring her in, and then we'll have to heal, because I don't really trust her to take a beating from a Metagross at that level. But, in fact, let's do... There we go. And so what we're going to be doing with a Rotten Egglock, which is going to be like your basic Egglock, except for I want you guys to eventually be providing me some of your least favorite Pokemon, some of my least favorite Pokemon, some of the worst Pokemon. We're going to be running the whole gambit on the kind of garbage we're going to be planning to use next season. But that's not what we're talking about today. Eventually, I'm going to be doing a whole episode, so we're going to do the next 2 episodes, this episode, and then the final episode of the Pokemon Platinum Random Lock, and then I will be doing episode 0 of the Rotten Egglock. That's no good. And in episode 0 of the... Actually, this is probably as good as it's going to get. Yikes. Ooh, that was not ideal. Here, while he's asleep, let's... Penelope and Earthquake. Ooh, okay. Yikes. Snooty pulls a lot of weight on this team. So we're going to be doing an episode 0 after this series is over, me explaining exactly what we're looking for in eggs, how to make eggs, how to send me eggs, everything like that. We're going to be doing that because that's going to be a lot of fun for you guys to kind of engage in that. But usually in the second to last episode of a given series, we start talking about... starters, and usually you guys would vote on starters. Like this time, because it was a random lock, you guys ended up not voting on specific starters, but instead voting on which slot you wanted me to take, because the stars were randomized, so we didn't really know what to expect. Hi, Dialga. Glad to see so many of you here today. maybe I saw Dialga previously on the former route. Let's go for the earthquake. There we go. Down goes Dialga. Cherim. I'll switch for that. Bring in Roku. But we're going to be kind of in a similar situation this season. Yan Mega. Let's bring in Yan Mega. Yeah, there we go, Cessna. I've actually really enjoyed using Cessna. I'm glad that we were able to get him on as part of the team. But kind of similar to last season, where we didn't really know exactly who the starter was going to be. Now, I could have you get... Ooh, Dragon Pulse. That might actually not be the most useless thing. Let me see if anybody can learn this. But so with the way egg locks generally work, and I double-checked this. I watched a couple of egg locks on... Where did Dragon Pulse go? I watched a couple of egg locks on... Nobody can learn it. Darn. Snooty might be able to learn it, I guess, but I watched a couple of egg locks. Let me get these words out, and then we'll... and pretty much in every instance, the way egg locks work is you don't use, like, a specific starter. Like, I could have you guys vote for, you know, Tepig or Oshawott or Snivy, but the reality is that... none of those Pokemon are going to be the ones we're using, right? It's going to be... We're going to take that starter, and then per the rules of the egg lock... we're going to be transferring that starter for an egg in the PC, and that egg, once hatched, will then become our starter, right? So I could have you guys vote for that, and one of the reasons that we're doing Black 2, we're doing the Rotten Egglock on Black 2 is because Black 2 is my least favorite Pokemon game, or that batch of games, Black 2, White 2. I didn't even finish it. It was not a game that I enjoyed. I was not the biggest fan of Gen 5 and all of its kind of, you know, story stuff, and not that I didn't like the story, like I had issues with the story, but more that it was just, you know, it just bogged down the game a lot, and unfortunately that ended up proving to be a trend, because after that, like, Gen 7 was so horribly bogged down, I can't even imagine. Right? So, let's see. Magdala probably needs to come out, is what Magdala needs to do. So let's do that. Let's bring Magdala out, bring Cessna in, and then we are going to Ice Shard. Yeah, because that's only going to do one. We're going to Ice Shard the Dugtrio, get it off the field. There we go. And so... that's not... I know some of you guys, Gen 5 was your favorite, but you guys know me. I felt like it really got in the way of the game, and unfortunately, that was starting a trend, and the games do nothing but get in your way these days anymore, it seems like. So, you know, maybe it's not fair to wholly hold Black 2, White 2 to that, but I've actually never finished the games. So, I'm kind of excited to play them for the sole fact that, like, I've never actually finished these games, so it'll at least be some new territory that we're treading. Man, Magdala really needs to come out from front. But one of the reasons I was doing that in Gen 5 is, one, because Black 2, White 2 is my least favorite game, so I figure if we're doing a Rotten Egglock, where the purposes is using some of our least favorite or weakest Pokemon, things like that, playing a game that I also hate would be kind of fitting with that theme. But at the same time, I also... The starters from Gen 5 are some of my absolute least favorite starters in the entire series, or are my least favorite starters in the entire series. Like, I think at some point I did a ranking of all the starters, and I think that yeah, the Gen 5 ones all very easily made it to the bottom of that list. And so I was kind of actually looking forward to potentially being in a position to be like, okay, yeah, we're going to use my least favorite starters in my least favorite game with some of my least favorite Pokemon and eggs, and that was going to be part of the whole shtick. But realistically, that's not how Rotten Egg Locks work. So where I would normally have you guys voting on starters, realistically, that's just not going to be... that Nuzlocke should have gone down. Let's bring Roku in. There it goes. Okay. Send in Banette. We switch Pokemon. Yes, Magdala is going to come in and get OP. There we go. All right. So realistically, I can't have you guys voting for, should we pick Oshawott or Tepig or Snivy or whatever, because it's not going to be the Pokemon that we're using. What we are going to have you do is what I need you guys to start doing is thinking about, I want each of you, everybody who's going to be submitting eggs, and any of you guys can submit eggs. And again, episode 0 is coming out, so if you don't understand, if you don't really know how that works, I will be walking you guys through exactly how that works here in a little bit. Not here in a little bit, but in an episode in like a week from now. There will be an episode coming out basically explaining how all of this is going to work. But I want to get through this series before we dig way too much into it. I'm going to have you guys submitting some eggs. I'm going to have some kind of criteria for what I want those eggs to look like basic themes on what I want you guys to be doing for the eggs you're submitting. Oh, that was bad. Okay, I outsped. We can do this. Yeah. Chimecho, we'll switch for that. But essentially, one of those Pokemon that I want you guys, one of the eggs I want you guys to submit, for those of you guys who are going to submit eggs, and again, not everybody has to submit eggs, but it's kind of a fun thing for you guys to do, see your own Pokemon showing up in the series. Chimecho, switch back to Magla for that, is one of those Pokemon is going to be a starter Pokemon. And it doesn't need to be like an actually starter Pokemon. It doesn't need to be a Bulbasaur or a Charmander or a Chikorita or, like a Pokemon that's actually been a starter in a series, but a Pokemon that you would like to potentially be one of my starters in the game. So basically, you can pick a Cherim or something, but it doesn't have to be a starter Pokemon. But I'm going to have a small pool of the eggs that you guys submit that I want you guys to classify as, okay, this is the starter Pokemon. And then from that small pool of starter eggs that you guys send me, my starter will be picked from that selection. And there's going to be, I would love it if each of you would submit me a box full of eggs or whatever, but that's probably not realistic. If we get a half dozen eggs from everybody or something like that, that would be amazing. But at the very least, I'm going to want a starter Pokemon from each of you. And it doesn't mean that all of those, the other starters won't necessarily be available, but the first pick, the starter, is going to come out of that small little pool. And then from there, if your starter doesn't get picked, that doesn't mean it's not going to be used. It just means that is going to go in your box. So say Pocket Flygon, let's say, one of my more active members in the Discord. Let's say Pocket decides to submit, a dozen eggs or something. Pocket's going to have his own box, and then, when we need to pick an egg after we do a catch, we'll probably start and, we'll either assign each box a value. What I think I probably want to do is, roll a dice. So, each time we need to pick an egg, we'll, roll a couple of dice to figure out which egg we're going to take. Let's see, how are we looking here? Yeah, okay, we should be fine. So we'll do some randomization to it. We might also, I haven't really figured it all out. We might rotate through each box. So if I take an egg from Flygon, then the next egg I take is not going to be from Flygon's box. It'll be from the next box in the order, and that'll be maybe Scad's box or something, or whoever's going to end up submitting eggs. We'll try and rotate through so that everybody's. Ooh, that's not what I meant to do. We're going to try and rotate through so everybody's Pokemon are getting a chance to shine in the series, because I want everybody to feel like they're involved, and not just by I get to the very end of the series and none of Mac's eggs ever got taken or something, because that would be a little bit disappointing. We'll switch here. So one of the things I need you to think about, instead of putting in your vote on this episode for starters, as you would normally do, I want you guys to be starting to think about who you would potentially make for a starter. And again, this is going to be the Rotten Egglocke, so I want you guys to think about Pokemon that are either terrible, are really annoying to train, are some of your, terrible in battle, their stats are just garbage. They're really annoying to train. They're your least favorite design-wise. They're my least favorite design-wise. I want you guys to think about Pokemon you hate, Pokemon I hate, Pokemon that are just objectively bad, Pokemon that are, terrible to train. In Gen 5 especially, there's a lot of Pokemon that, are two-stage Pokemon, but they don't evolve into their second stage until they're, level 55 or something. That's going to be a really obnoxious Pokemon to train, sort of thing. And so those kinds of things are the ones I want you guys to be thinking about as you're starting up, thinking about who you would want to be in that pool for a starter. And again, it doesn't have to be a starter Pokemon. It doesn't have to be a Tepig or an Oshawott or a Torchic or any of those, because it doesn't have to be a start, but whatever Pokemon you would potentially want to see in that pool. Make it your least favorite Pokemon Pokemon, or, you know, one that you really want to see me get stuck with, sort of thing. And then that'll be the pool that we end up drawing from. Okay, so what was I doing? Oh, I want to grab Snooty because we do have a battle with Barry coming up here. We made it through the Victory Road, which is exciting. So yeah, start thinking about those eggs. Start thinking about your starters, eggs specifically, but at the same time, again, I want you guys to really get into this, and so start thinking about, you know, start making a list of Pokemon that you might want to make, and if you already know how to make eggs, I would say maybe you could get started on it if you wanted, but I am going to have a video coming out, and there's certain criteria that you have to do in order for them to be legal to use in the game or whatever, because as you get further on in generations, they have more and more legality checkers, and things will glitch out if you have, like, totally illegal Pokemon and stuff. So you might wait to actually start building till I do my tutorial, but start making a list now of the kind of Pokemon that you might want to see. Leo's got an X special on him. That's weird. Let's see, Rash Nature, Skull Bash, Iron Defense, Rain Dance, Hydro Pump. What a cute little dude. But we made it through the Victory Road intact, which is exciting. So, oh wait, no, we're gonna be battling Barry. So yeah, keep thinking about what eggs you might want to submit, and specifically those eggs that you might want to submit for the starter pool. And we'll be talking more about eggs coming up in the future, as I said. But yeah, definitely start thinking about that, because in about a week that video will come up, and then I want you guys to start kind of cranking them out and getting them over to me so we can get the next season going without too much delay. Another thing you guys should be thinking about, speaking of delaying upcoming, hey, Mama Swine, thinking about delaying, I really don't have... Really? Let's bring Snooty in, I guess. Let's do the yawn. We're going to heal. Okay. And then we'll surf. There we go. Let's send Tortimer. You switch your Pokemon. Switch. Let's bring Penelope in. Penelope handled Tortimer just fine. Go for the Ice Shard here. Looking good, but send in Ninetales. Bring Snooty back in. So yeah, start thinking about those eggs. Another thing you guys need to start thinking about in anticipation of upcoming battles is... There we go. Is your patron teams. Man, he's got a really... Well, no, Drapion... This is just Bear. I was like, wait, is this a patron? He's got a really good Pokemon. But no, Drapion was his starter, so that seems right still. Yeah, we're going to switch, though. Let's bring Penelope back in. So, yeah, I need you guys... For those of you guys who are patrons or who are interested in becoming patrons, I need you guys to start thinking about the teams you would like to carry into... Ooh, Dragonite. Man! Barry's got game! Start thinking about those Pokemon you'd like to see going into next season on your patron teams. And you can make it a team of your least favorite Pokemon, a team of my least favorite Pokemon, you know, whatever you want to, you know, Pokemon that I hate going up against, I mean, and things like that. You can do whatever you want. You can make it your favorite. I don't care what you guys do. It's your teams. But start thinking about that. I'm probably going to be doing it this season. I think I found a trainer editor tool that looks like it's pretty straightforward. And so I'm probably going to be giving it a shot because I know Addie's been kind of overwhelmed with just life in general lately. And so having time to really take care of that for me it was always kind of a big ask. And so, you know, especially he's got 2 Dragonites. Goodness, Barry. And so, you know, putting something else on his plate that is totally not his responsibility is really not something that we need to be doing. So I think I found an editor. I'm going to be doing it myself. So make sure you guys are thinking about your teams. Get that information over to me as soon as you can, because there's probably going to be like a 2 or 3 week break between this series and the next series, because I want to give you guys time to make eggs and get everything prepared and all that kind of jazz. But I don't want to delay too long, so I'd love for you guys to get that stuff to me. I know most of the times you guys end up later in the game anyway, you know, maybe it'd be fun to run into somebody, you know, in an earlier raid or something. I don't know. But yeah, just start thinking about your eggs, start thinking about your patron teams, and get that information over to me. Okay, so there we go, guys. We made it through the Victory Road. We beat Barry, and now we are all set to next episode go through the Elite Four and finish off this season. One thing I want to talk to you guys about as we are drawing to the end of this season. One of those things, today's question of the day, and you guys probably saw it down there before because you guys generally do, but one of the things I did want to talk about is now that we're kind of towards the end of this season and I'm planning for next season sort of thing, how did you guys like the slightly more truncated, condensed formatting of this season compared to the other series that I've done on this channel. And it really hasn't been super pronounced, but there have been, like, routes that I just skipped. Like, I skipped Route 223. There's been, like, just things that, like, I tried to make sure there was one big thing in each episode. You know, a boss battle or plot or, you know, a rival. There was something of interest, one big ticket item in each episode. And sometimes we did some fluffy stuff in that episode to get to that big ticket item or whatever, just to, you know, so we had an episode. But, you know, so it wasn't like super. I don't think we missed a ton necessarily. We certainly missed some stuff. But again, I don't think the point of me doing the condensing is really to cut out, like, actually interesting content. The point was to cut out anything that wasn't really value added or interesting, and I think we accomplished that for the most part. I mean, there maybe was still some fluff that we could potentially consider cutting out at next time we do something like this, but I wanted to kind of get you guys' thoughts on that. Is that something that you guys enjoyed? If you're like, no, it was really too fast-paced, we really didn't get to spend time stewing with the team and really getting to know them, or, you know, or whatever. Whatever your thoughts are, I'd love to hear it, because as I'm planning out next season, if I'm going to be doing kind of the condensed thing again, which for my purposes I think I kind of liked, but I would be interested in hearing what you guys have to say. If I'm going to be doing that again, I kind of have to map out the season a little bit and figure out, like, okay, what am I going to be doing in these episodes so that I make sure I'm hitting something big ticket in each episode. So, which isn't a problem, but I just kind of need to know where you guys are sitting at it. If you guys enjoyed it, if you guys didn't enjoy it, I just want to hear where you guys are at, so as I'm thinking about next season, I can kind of take that into consideration. So that's today's kind of question of the day. As you guys are thinking about your patron teams, if you're an existing patron, if you're not an existing patron and you'd love to be a patron in an upcoming season of the Pokeath'locke, next episode, actually, we're going to be, I think 3 of the Elite Four are going to be patrons, which will be fun. My guess is they're gonna be Elite Four members and not the champion, but we'll find out next episode, I guess. You know, so it's a lot of fun. I think especially this generation was a little wonky with the editing, so I think they've been a little less interesting for you guys to see, just because, like, your text has been all screwed up and you can't change the names of the sprites or anything like that. It's been this generation's editing was a little wonky. It looks like Gen 5's has been really well thought out, so I think it's going to be a lot cleaner and a lot more representative of what you guys want to see potentially in these games. So, but if you're thinking about becoming a patron, link is in the description down below. If you become a patron, I think at the $5 tier per month. For all new patrons, then you can be a player NPC in an upcoming season of the Pokeath'locke, and you guys will get to see what that's going to look like in the next episode. So maybe if you want to wait and kind of see a whole bunch of them kind of in play and then make your decision, you probably have time to do that. But whether you're a patron or you're thinking about it, start thinking about those teams that you might want on your NPCs. Start thinking about your eggs, specifically which Pokemon you might want to be putting in an egg for the starter pool. And obviously there'll be more than 3 eggs in that, probably. I mean, well, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe we'll only get one person submitting eggs. I don't really know. I don't really know what to expect. We've not done one of these kinds of things where it requires like that kind of commitment from you guys. But I have faith in my community. I think it'll be fine. But yeah, so going into the pool, and we'll figure out, maybe we'll discuss in the Discord, or in the, actually better yet, let's discuss in the comments here. How do you think, once we've got our pool of starter eggs, how should we select which egg we should choose? Maybe we should just randomize it, or maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll go by nickname that's on the egg or something. We'll figure that all out at a later date. But anyway, guys, let me know what you thought about the more condensed format. Start thinking about those patron teams and those eggs for the egg lock. Just getting an idea of some of those terrible Pokemon you're gonna try and make me use, and then we'll go over more about how we're gonna go about getting those in there in a later episode in about a week. So thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Tortimer the Gray, and you guys have been great. Make sure those likes, comments, subscriptions for me, guys, and I will see you guys all back here next time as we complete this season of the Pokeath'locke by taking on the Elite Four and the champion. Hopefully we will all make it through unscathed. We've got some fun Pokemon here that I'm excited to see get into the transfer pool. So thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Tortimer the Gray, and you guys are great. Have a good one.